Hey everyone, it's the Simplistic Witch here today, and today I'm going to be doing a book review on Lisa Chamberlain Books, and I'm going to be giving some tips for witches out there that have disabilities. So to start off with, if you don't already know, I do have two disabilities. I have a learning disability and a reading disability. I've had them since I was born, and, I have always dealt with it, and it's always been a little difficult for me, but, I have managed. So, let's get into the video. To start off with, I'm going to be doing a book review on these four books. Wicca for Beginners by Lisa Chamberlain. Tarot for Beginners by Lisa Chamberlain. Okay, all these books are by Lisa Chamberlain. Wicca Crystal Magic. And Wicca Candle Magic. And currently I'm reading Wicca Magical Deities. But I'll probably do a book review on this one separately. Or with these other two books I have. I also have Wicca Moon Magic and Wicca Elemental Magic. So probably once I get done with these three books, I'll probably do a separate video on them, but they're probably going to be the same review as this, because I honestly love all these Chamberlain books, and they're all very good, and they all have a sense of eclecticism. So if you are an eclectic Wiccan or eclectic witch, these are pretty good for you. Okay, so keep in mind, all these books are beginner guides, so if you're looking for anything further than, anything more than beginner guides, then, these books aren't for you. And keep in mind, all these books are structured the same. So first it talks about history having to do with the topic, then it goes in on the information the author has to share about the topic at hand, and then it goes into different techniques you can go about doing the topic at hand, and then it gives you different tables of correspondence. So I love that it gives you corresponding lists, and they're not huge corresponding lists. The basic correspondence list that will get you a good start in the for a beginner. And also keep in mind that all these books have a little bit over 100 pages. So, these are beginner books, and these are really short beginner books, but they give you all the basic information you need to know on the topic. So that's what I really like about it. And when you're done reading this, you won't be wanting more. You won't be expecting more. You'll be pretty happy. These are beginner books, so you can't really be expecting too much from beginner books. And these books tell you all the basics that you'll need to know on the topic at hand. Now, to begin with, Wicca for Beginners. The one thing I like about this book the most is the manifestation chapter in this book. I really like how she talked about manifestation, and how manifestation doesn't always have to be something that's caused by spell work. So that's one thing I really liked about Wicca for Beginners. And Wicca for Beginners also goes over all the basic, like the tools, the subbats, S-bats, days of power, what else? The triple goddess. It talks about the horn god, and like little different aspects of the god too. And the next one I want to talk about is, also, this was the very first book I ever read in starting my path. So I really like this, because it's like Scott Cunningham books are a little difficult for me to read. So starting with this book, Wicca for Beginners, really helped, start me up reading, because I've never been someone who was into reading. I've only read, before I started reading spiritual and witchcraft books, I only ever really read 2, maybe 3 books my whole life. I mean, I have read more, but usually I have had an audiobook or something that really helped me follow along with the book, so I've never really been a big reader. So something that I really liked about me starting my path is it really got me into reading, and really got me interested in reading, and really made me become a better reader. So, that's something I really liked about, just reading in general, about starting reading books on witchcraft and spirituality. And Tarot for Beginners. This is the first book I read on tarot, to learn tarot. And something I really liked about this is it gives a good, pretty good size definitions for each card, in the major arcana and the minor arcana. And it gave really good definitions of each card, and it also gives definitions for the reverse meaning of each card too. And for Wicca Crystal Magic, something I really liked about this one is I liked the use of using crystals for elixirs. I really liked how she explained using crystals for elixirs and the different ways and different techniques she told you can go about doing it. She gives you a lot of different techniques on using crystals for all different types of things, like using from your bath. I'm pretty sure, yeah, using it for sachets, using it for a lot of different things. And like I said, all the books are structured the same. So she goes over the history, the information she has to share in the book, the techniques, and correspondences. Oh, but also keep in mind, this one does not have a correspondence list. It has different spreads you can do. So it has like the Celtic Cross, and off the top of my head I can't remember the other ones, but it has a couple of different spreads you can do as well. And the fourth one is Wicca Candle Magic. And something I really liked about this book was how she talked about timing and how it's okay to clear, charge, or dress your candle beforehand, because not everybody always has the time to, to really focus an hour on ritual. So I really liked how she talked about timing and how it's okay for you to clear, charge, or dress your candle ahead of time before you do your spell work. All these books are very easy to read, and the chapters aren't that long at all. The chapters are probably each chapter, it varies from chapter to chapter, obviously, but every chapter is pretty small. I think most chapters range from probably 2 to 4 pages each, if that. So if you are a witch with a disability that really affects your learning or your reading or anything of that nature, then these books are going to be really good for you. And also something I've noticed with these books are more newer. I'm pretty sure they came out, when did they come out? Most of these books came out around 2015. So they came out about 2 years ago. So now a lot of people have done reviews on these books. The only person I've really seen do a review as well is Olive the Windy City Witch. And she gives a good brief review on the Candle Magic book. The only other book I really want to get of hers is the Wicca Herbal Magic book, and that's the last one I really want to get. I'm not really planning on collecting all of them, just the books that I think are the ones that I mostly want and most find interesting. And now I'm going to go into different tips you can do in case you have a hard time reading in general with any books. And it doesn't have to be Lisa Chamberlain, but with any books. I'm going to give you some tips on helping absorbing information and really staying focused on reading and things of that nature. So first, using green venturine in candle magic is a really good way to stay focused and really absorb information, because green venturine is good for intellect and mental clarity. So something you can do is take a tea light, a white tea light, and you can use some incense smoke to clear it of all energy whatsoever. And then you can use your saliva to anoint the wick of the candle, and while you're doing that, have the intention to have it help you absorb information and help you focus on your spell work using the green venturine. And as you light the candle, have the same intention you did when anointing the wick of the candle. And that's a really good way on helping you stay focused and really absorb the information that you're reading at hand. And I have been doing this since the very beginning of my practice, and it works every time for me. So if you have difficulty with absorbing or containing any information or reading in general, I find that is very helpful to do. And the second tip I have is using the Google Translate app that you can get on any smartphone, or you can go online and go on the website, Google Translate, and you can, in case you don't know what a word says, or if you have a hard time pronouncing the word, you can type it in, and then it will speak back to you. So that's a really good way in case you have any hard time reading the word and really learning how to pronounce it. And also, if you don't know what a word means, it's always a good idea to type in the word on Google and find out what it means, so next time you know it when you see it again in any type of books. So that was a short review on all the Lisa Chamberlain books I've read so far. So if you are a witch that have disabilities, I would recommend all these books, because Lisa Chamberlain is my favorite author, and I think any of you that have disabilities can really benefit from her books, and her books are just amazing. I can't wait to get the last Herbal Magic book that I really want to get from her. And I can't wait to read the rest of them as well. And also, tomorrow I will be doing a live stream, because tomorrow is my birthday, my 20th birthday. So I'll be doing a Q&A for about probably like a half an hour to an hour, somewhere around there. So if you have any questions for me during the Q&A, please leave them down in the comment section. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the day, and blessed be.